Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is take one, and this will be the only take because it is 7 p.m. and I was not planning on doing this. I feel like shit. I look like shit. I'm not down talking myself. It's just how I feel right now. And I I've been reflecting a lot on what I talked about in the last video, and my soul was like, I want to speak in front of the camera. I'm convinced that me and my soul are just two different beings now because I don't want to speak in front of the camera, but my soul does. So here we are. I don't even know where to start. I've had the worst day. Everybody is on my nerves. And my organs decided to just shred its lining, so I am in constant pain. Everybody's pissing me off. And I'm at the gym and I'm like completely annoyed by everything, the lighting, the music. I leave. The outside world annoys me. I'm annoying me. My hair is not hairing today. But let's focus on the positive things, shall we? I have come to the realization that I am playing too small and have been for probably the past year and a half. And I am so fed up with myself. This isn't a new realization. I think I realized this at the end of 2025 when somebody asked me, like, what is like the next step for you? And I said, commitment. I need to start committing to the mission. And I realized where this fear of commitment and like truly going into something that I love is coming from. Because who doesn't want to achieve a goal? Like, who doesn't want to achieve something that they're completely obsessed with, right? And I think I did a Q&A today for my followers on Instagram, and somebody asked me about my perspective on life. And as I was typing it out, I realized that fear is what holds most of us back. And I think fear is what's been holding me back because there's something that you have to understand about my life is that I grew up with a lot of older mentors. Like, I never surrounded myself with people my age, which means these people were already making billions of dollars, right? Being surrounded, and they were all men. Like, I don't know what it was. God was like, okay, your dad left, here you go, have 3 other mentors that can guide you through this. They were all men. I think I adopted this idea that in order to succeed, I needed to sacrifice everything. You do have to sacrifice. Like, that is, I don't think you don't have to sacrifice. You do have to sacrifice. But I adopted this belief around like the whole self-development world on social media and just in general, that if I wanted to achieve what I want to achieve, I need to sacrifice my happiness. And I ingrained that in myself. Like, that was something that I just, like, it was a no-brainer. I just believed it. It took me a while to make peace with it. And then, like, after a year, when I was like 15, I made peace with this and it just stuck with me. And now I realize that I was wrong. Yay. Pros and cons. Pros, hey, I don't have to be unhappy. I don't have to die unhappy, which I was totally okay with, but I don't anymore. And B, con is that I have to undo years of of ingraining that in myself because I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in the state where when I go all in, I will sacrifice everything else, and I've never done it any other way. Like, I've never done it any other way. And I'm not sure if anybody relates to this, being consumed by something, a mission, a purpose, letting it consume you to the point where it just is you. Like, there is no other option. And I don't know how else to explain it, because I know a lot of people have like plan A and plan B and plan C, or like it's just money to retire your parents or money to buy the car, or like, no, like for me, you take that away and I'm still allowing this to consume me. Like, there is no reality in my head where I die not accomplishing this. And that evolved with the limiting belief, and now I have to separate the two. And it is driving me insane because I don't think my mentors or anything that they put with me at the start of my journey was meant to ingrain that belief. But I feel like I'm just focusing too much on everything annoying me. Sorry. I don't think they meant it like that. I think it's just something that I created. It was a belief that I created out of nowhere. And now I'm realizing that that was never the purpose. Like, it was never for me to die unhappy, because as I grow my company, as I grow my business, as I'm mentoring more people, like, I literally feel like a mom. Like, I'm mentoring like young people that used to be like me, and I have to slow down, and I have to be patient, and I have to listen, and I have to correct, and I have to give feedback. It's like I have relationships with my students. And if I am unhappy, if I am soulless, and I am giving away everything that I need to fulfill myself, to fulfill the mission, it just doesn't work. It can't happen. It doesn't align. And so as I tried doing that a couple months ago, and I realized that I was showing up to the calls with my students, with my community, and they were draining me. And I'm like, something needs to change here, because I cannot continue to grow something that will continue to drain me. I thought that was supposed to be the thing that, that made it work. Like, the more I give up, the more this grows. But that doesn't, like, logically now that doesn't make any sense, because the more I give up, the less I can put into this for it to grow. And now I realized that the way I show up to the calls, like, even in the past couple weeks, everybody has been commenting, you're absolutely glowing, you're a completely different person, like, we can feel your energy. And I'm going to take that as a sign that I'm on the right path. But it's such a struggle separating this from my head, because they're still like one, they're still together. Like, success equals you being unhappy, you giving up everything you need, and I don't know how to work any other way. And this mindset shift is so overwhelming. As I started surrounding myself with more and more people that were successful, I realized, looking back, that again, like, they never meant it as like you have to sacrifice your happiness. It just meant like you had to sacrifice your old self and your past self to get what you want, and that continuously needs to evolve and grow and will continuously happen. But that doesn't mean your happiness. That doesn't mean the stuff that you love. It should actually be the complete opposite. And I remember part of the sales team that I work with and the company that I work with, they host an event twice a year, June and December, and I go to both of them. And I remember last year, my very first one in June was eye-opening. I remember the CEO of the company showing how much his energy poured into him as he was building a $10 million company. I was seeing it in real time. Heck, I was helping throughout the whole process. And during that event, when I got to feel that energy in person, it overwhelmed me so much to know, I started to realize that I was wrong. Like, the way I was building was wrong, and it was the complete opposite. I remember I was sitting at the table while everybody was on a break, and I could feel the overwhelm starting to sip in, because I was like, fuck, I'm messing up in real time. I am messing up, and I am setting myself up and other people for failure. And I think the biggest thing was that I could not help more people, and the people that were currently in the community, if I kept doing this. And I remember during that specific month or that specific phase, a lot of my students were coming to me with a lot of problems, and everything was draining me, so I couldn't fix it, and I felt like an absolute loser, probably because I was. But I remember that overwhelm consuming me in the moment, okay? And Kelly, one of the coaches, comes up to me, and she's like, do you want to come outside? And I go outside with her, and I remember completely bursting into tears in her arms, and I was like, what am I doing? What is the point of me building this if I've been doing it completely wrong? I feel like I have to start over now. And she walked me through how, as not only as a business owner, but as someone with an energy that comes from love and that comes from care, that is what feeds my soul. That is going to be my biggest strength, not my biggest liability. And I think for the next step, it just bleeds back into what I talked about in the other two videos. I need to understand. I don't know. I just need to separate those two things. And I'm having a really hard time doing that. I don't know if I'm going to post this because I still feel like I look like shit the entire video. I don't know. I feel like I'm always leaving you guys with like an I don't know, but like that's just the way I feel right now. I'm going to try being happy. I'm going to try to care as much as I can. I'm going to try to put that on the line and open up. And like, I think I'm starting to make progress. Like, me and one of my best friends are going to June's event, and we're booking an Airbnb together. Like, I would have never done that if I knew, like, if I kept pushing people away because I thought that having an Airbnb to myself and paying more for that was going to help me focus more, and I didn't have to go out afterwards. Whereas I know that if I'm with her, she's going to force me to go socialize, and she's going to force, like, we always go during the event, like, they have the gym meetups, they have the dinner meetups, lunch meetups, and like different groups of people hang out. I think I only did that twice at the last event, and then I did it 0 times at the first event. So I know that I should, and I am. And I'm starting to say yes to a lot more, I guess, a lot more. I don't know. And I'm starting to actually care about people. And I think networking and sales and what I've been building, like, one of the things I'm the most proud of is my friend group and my network. Like, they've made me the most, they show me my worth in a way that I couldn't see it before. And I think that now taking the step to, okay, you can actually care about them, and you can actually show them that you care, and you can actually fly and stay with people and be with friends and go out and do this and do that. It's going to be super important. And I think that these events specifically have been so helpful with that, because because I can tell people care about me, and I thought it was a liability for me to show that care back. And I think we're making progress. Like, the first event, didn't go out with anybody. I was working the entire time, working during the breaks, working after and before the event, etc., etc. And then the last one in December, I went out with a couple of friends. We went to get tacos. My accent's slipping. Tacos. And then I went to get it was like organic food from a farm with a couple of other friends. Mind you, like, I had never talked to these people before, so progress. And then on our way back to the airport, me and another girl flew back together to Utah. So I think we're making progress. Like, I think we're getting there, and it felt at the time like those things were distractions, but I'm glad I did them, because now I realize that they weren't. And now I can go ahead and push myself a little bit more without feeling like it's a bad thing, like a waste, right? Because for the record, like, I haven't built that connection with people in a really long time. Like, when I was 14, I remember I created like my first real friend group. Like, for my entire life, I've been trying to find somewhere I could fit in, jumping around from circle to circle. When I was 14, I decided I didn't want that anymore. And funnily enough, that's when I attracted the most people, and I created a real friend group where I felt valued and I felt appreciated, right? And then I moved back to the United States, and that's when, like, I went through a breakup, and then I realized, like, who was my friend and who wasn't my friend, and I did not hesitate to cut everybody off after 2 years of knowing them. And so after I cut everybody off, I was really very selective with friends. I made a couple friends from school to school that I went to, but I went to probably 3 or 4 different schools during those 2 years when I was 15 and 16. And only let certain people in, but then I kept moving on. And now, where was I going with this? Oh, right. And now I realized that ever since, like, 16 was the mark where I absolutely cut. Like, I didn't even try anymore. Like, didn't have anybody's phone number, didn't have anybody's Instagram, like nothing. And so I was really okay with just being by myself for the rest of my life. Like, I need you to understand and actually let that sink in. I was completely okay and at peace with being alone for the rest of my life. I was fine. I was perfectly fine with being unhappy, because I know that being alone for the rest of your life does not mean that I was probably going to be fulfilled for the rest of my life. I was completely fine with letting that happen. And don't get me wrong, like, again, I made, like, my first mentor came when I was 16, and then with that came a lot of connections. But with these people that are a lot older than me and a lot more, I guess, ahead and with more wealth, like, you can talk to them once a month and we keep that friendship. Like, that connection is a lot different than having people your own age that you can be intimate with and you can have friendships with. And I was completely okay with that, and it baffles me, kind of, sort of surprises me now. No, well, sort of, because I could still go back to that belief, but I know it's not serving me anymore. And I was so okay with just letting that happen. Like, I've always traveled by myself. I've always gone out by myself, restaurants by myself, done things by myself, moved out by myself, like, everything by myself. Like, I just accepted that. And so now going back into a world where I can actually connect with people is so weird to me. Like, it's so alien. And I don't know. I think I need to get used to it again, because I'm really awkward. I'm really awkward with new people. I mean, I think I've told you guys the story where I was going to get dinner with the company I work in. They're technically like family. So every time I talk about them, I don't want you guys to think of a bunch of people in business. It's like they are technically my family, which is why I talk about them so much. And I love them so much. I've been with them for like a bit over a year now. And the CEO of the company always invites us for dinner and a couple other friends before the event starts. And so I'm going up to his condo, and I remember, like, I knock on his door and nobody hears me. I know this is the right place because I've been here before, and it smells like steak. And I knock again and nobody hears me, and I knock a little bit lighter just so I have an excuse to go home, and nobody hears me. And so, mind you, his condo is like in the corner unit, right? So it's like the corner, and there's a little, like, the door's here, and there's a little wall that kind of goes back to the hallway, like a small, I'm sure you can imagine it, right? So I go back behind the wall where you can still see the door, but you're facing the other hallway. And I go back behind the other wall. Like, I'm not hiding. I'm just sitting there waiting to see if anybody else from the group is going to come so I could come in with them, because I didn't want to knock again. And, like, I'm standing there for 4 minutes, or it feels like a good, like, 10 minutes. And suddenly, Nick opens the door, and he sees me standing, like, behind the corner. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I don't know. Like, I need to get back into society, because I feel like and I don't regret it. Like, I separate myself long enough to build something with my business and just create something, and it has served me, but it hasn't served me as much as connecting with other like-minded individuals and actually caring about people has, because that is what a business is built off of. Like, care and love and actually putting your all in. And your all means, like, your all, not just in terms of work, but emotionally investing yourself in these people, in who you're serving. And I think that's what failed me the most. I did not want to make relationships. I did not want to create relationships with the people I was working with. Whereas now, like, it feels like I have 30 kids that I have to take care of, and I love each and every one of them, and I've learned how to be patient because I care, and that is why the business has grown so much since 2026 started, because I made that shift. And now I'm coming to realization that if I need to 10x this thing, want to 10x this thing, need to 10x this thing, whatever, which I can, I realize I have to like emotionally put myself in there. I cannot be numb to not caring about the business and just work, because it is doing the complete opposite. It's not growing the business. and every other aspect of my life too. So there we go. We found the solution. I think me yapping for twice the amount of time did help. I'm gonna go now because I have so much to do. Or maybe I just won't do anything. Maybe I'll just go to sleep because I don't I don't like myself today. I don't like anybody today. I don't like today, but we're coping with it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish my sales notes and DMs, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Okay? Cool.